I feel like I'm properly lying to you guys, mismarketing the video. Most of these books are not on the actual TBR because I don't actually have a lot of my TBR physically, which is not doing my unread books on the shelf any favors. How are you? I hope you're good. I'm here today to set my magical TBR for Dovanthia's very last semester as a Dreamwalker, if she passes, that is, but it is my 4th year with Dovanthia as a Dreamwalker. I've done a rogue year as Rift Architect, so we're a little bit behind graduating with her because she couldn't make up her mind, which is actually very Dovanthia coded. But I'm very excited. I'm gonna do the same thing I did in April, where I give myself a little bit more options to have a set TBR, but with a little bit of leeway, which I think I really enjoy doing. If you missed the announcement video, I will link it down below so you can join us. You don't have to have had played this before. You can always just join in wherever you are in your Aurelium journey. We would love to have you. As you can see from my requirements for the Autumn Equinox, I do need, I want to say 8 books, but obviously I can use some scrolls with my bank of guild reputation points, which I feel like I've accumulated quite a lot. So I can definitely make things a bit easier for myself if needed with a couple of scrolls that double up the prompts for me. With the way that my reading has been going in the last couple of years, if you missed my reading crisis video as well, I'll link that one down below. You can catch up a little bit, but I am very confident. No, that's not true. I'm very positive about the fact that this is going to be a fantastic month. I am putting it out there into the universe and hope that it proves me right. I just feel very ready to tackle it and have fun with reading. So if we do happen to finish this, I can then, of course, pick up some extra subjects that I don't necessarily need and get some extra points for that. But I'm gonna leave these open. I'm not gonna plan for them, just to not set myself up for failure already. So the first one that I do need is ordinary levels for Alchemy, and the prompt was red cover. I'm gonna go with yours truly. I've read Only for the Summer recently, thoroughly enjoyed the experience. Not only did I enjoy the entire story of it and was really invested in some plots even outside of the main plot, which was my first Abby Jimenez book as well, and I had a really good time and I want to continue reading in the series. This is like one of those where it's companion novels, so you don't have to read them in order, which is good, because Only for the Summer is not, in fact, the first in the series. Neither is yours truly, I'm pretty sure, which is the one that I picked here, but it does have a red cover, so of course it fits what I needed to fit. This one seems to be following 2 doctors, I want to say, and they do communicate through letters. That's how they start their relationship. The main character's brother, I think, also needs a kidney transplant, so I imagine there's gonna be lines of medical themes, of course, of them being doctors as well, or at least healthcare. I'm not sure if they're both doctors. I do come prepared with a second option if I don't get to this one, although I am fairly positive that this one is definitely gonna make the cut. But if it doesn't, and I need something quicker, I guess, shorter, I also have this little nifty book, 9 Goblins. It's a tiny, I say tiny, what is this? It is tiny. It's like 150 pages. Kingfisher book with like a silly goofy time. I don't even know exactly what it is about. I had other reasons for getting this one. Those reasons were also very... Oh, didn't expect that. The reasons were also very cute, so I'm absolutely not mad if I do end up reading this. I just don't think this is gonna be necessarily the one that I do need a backup option for, but to have it is great. And let me know if you've read this one. I feel like I don't really see this one often anywhere, so it would be good to know some thoughts if you have consume this one. Next, we do need 2 grades in Art of Illusion. First one is the color wheel prompt, but not the one where we spin the color wheel, the one where we take our previous read, or current read, but it's Moss in Space. Obviously there's some blues and some greens on this cover, but I have gone for primarily let's just go and pick greens in general. So I'm gonna go with the pink territory. Which shade of pink? Debatable, but we're just gonna be easy with that. We're not gonna overthink it. And I've decided to read Survival Show. This is by the author who wrote HMRC, Her Majesty's Royal Coven, a series that I still really need to continue with. I had such a good time with the first one. I've had this on my radar for a little while and I'm very excited to read it because it sounds like such a fun time. It's essentially about a reality TV show, but on crack. We are in a dystopia. Reward for winning this, I want to say it's like a talent show situation, but it's like Big Brother 24 24/7 cameras on. They pit all of the contestants against each other. Whoever wins get this like celebrity life and all the money and all the fame and the funds. I think the main character again needs like medicine for the family. So there's like, so far we are on a strong medical theme as like a secondary focus of my TBR, apparently. Could be very bad for my mental health. We will come back to that. But then if they don't win the show, they legitimately get eliminated. It's something of a population control means. Because again, this is like a dystopia, and I'm sure it's going to be filled with social commentary, and I'm actually very excited to see what happens and what sort of insights we're going to get from this, and how ridiculous and how far we can take it. So I'm very excited for this one. I'm actually going to be using this multiple prompts. So this is the one that I'm really hoping to read, because then it would balance me out for multiple prompts. So this is what we're going to use the scroll for as well. If I do have time and I decide to like not double up on this one, I do have a backup, which is Uncharmed, which obviously front does have a lot of pink, but it also has a lot of teals and oranges, but the back is pink, the edges are pink. I feel like it's very pink overall, so we're gonna count it. I did actually start this. Oh, and then papers are pink. It's just very pink. I had such a great time with Rewitched last autumn Equinox, and I felt like this could be a very nice move on my part to put the second one in here. I did actually start reading this, but I was just simply not in the mood for it, so it's not the book's fault at all, and I think I only read like 20 pages and then decided this is not the time. So I'm still waiting for that time. It is following a baker, and of course the way that the author writes this is very nostalgic, gives the 90s TV, the witchy vibe, aesthetic, like Gilmore Girls charm, practical magic. It's very cozy, but we also then have other themes to explore, like self-growth, and I'm not actually sure what this one focuses on, but I do remember that it is to do with a baker, and I think there's going to be like an understudy situation where she teaches like a younger witch, she gets assigned a witch. Even if it doesn't go for a backup for this, maybe I can squeeze it in somewhere else, but it really just depends. I'm not banking on squeezing anything in really, because I might not have the capacity for that, my good guy. But you know, we will come back to that. It's good to be prepared. The next one was Illusion Deconstruction, which qualified for Art of Illusion. Prompt is book with a cover you don't love. Now these are not the worst covers that I have ever seen. It's definitely not like, oh my god, this is horrible. It's just like something about them is not necessarily something that I would be like, this is my favorite cover. So one of those cover designs overall that I don't necessarily love for myself, it's those like what I would call is like a floral salad with some symbols and typography on it. It used to be very popular design overall. I feel like it still is, not uncommon, and it's not my favorite. So one of the books for that is Nightshade. It has been on my TBR to try it because I keep hearing very nice things about it. It's a dark academia. It's set where I live. Well, not quite. It's set in the Scottish Highlands. Again, we obviously have the Academy, so that fits in with Aurelium pretty well, so I thought I could squeeze this in. This one might be a little bit raunchier than the usual books that I kind of read, which is totally fine. What I'm gonna tell you is this is not gonna be an audiobook, because as soon as I can sniff any type of sexier scenes, I just opt out of the audio route. A personal preference. But I'm very excited about this one. I think it is a duology. I've heard good things about it, so I'm fairly excited to delve into that one. If the mood doesn't strike on that one, in a similar vein, but a little bit more close to Halloween vibes, it's this book. Again, not a horrible cover at all, but something about it is just not my absolute favorite, and this is Love at First Fright, because I really enjoyed the other book that I read by the author. Maybe it was a couple of, I don't know. I read Best Hex Ever and really surprised myself with it. I just had a really good time. Is it like a fantastic, no flaws book? No, but I had a genuine good time. So I thought I would try this one as well. This one is set on a horror movie set, and I think the main characters are, it is a romance. So was Best Hex Ever, as you can tell from the title probably. It's not very subtle. That one also had a baker, so that seems to be like a theme as well. But yes, I do know that we have an actor and then a horror writer, and that's really all I need to know. This is a backup, and if the mood strikes, I can swap it out for that. Right, next we are on to Spells and Incantations, and I only need one mark in that, so that's for O. Book you added to your TBR last month. My reading game has not been the strongest, and I do not currently have active monthly TBRs per se, but I do have a book club that is monthly, so I thought it would be smart also but it makes perfect sense for the prompt as well to put the book that is currently winning the poll. The poll is not closed yet for like another day or so, but it's pretty solid that it's gonna be Scion, I want to say Scion, by the author who wrote The Will of the Many, which is very exciting because I love that book. For some reason, when this was announced, because it's also sci-fi, so very exciting times in this household for me, I for some reason thought it's gonna be a huge book, similar to The Will of the Many and something of the Few, the sequel. So color me very surprised when I checked the pages, and I think it's like under 300. Curious. We'll see how that goes. The synopsis of this really spoke to me. It has this kind of like biting absurdism about it. It seems to be leaning humorous. It's about either an android or an enhanced human, I'm not actually 100% sure, who I can only guess is an assassin of sorts, but then gets assigned to one of the cases and something doesn't quite feel right. Very excited for that one, to be honest. Gonna be an interesting time. I also need a lore prompt, again, for the ordinary, and the prompt is bunny, and for this one I'm gonna be using it for one of the very rare anticipated, like I feel like every year I only have a couple anticipated books, and this was one of them. Another one that I'm anticipating is obviously Becky Chambers' new book, but that one's not out in October, so very rude of them, and I cannot use it for this particular semester, but I can use the other one, which is mostly human resources. I don't physically have it yet, but I should get it actually in time. I have actually read, I want to say like 100 pages of it. I will be starting from the beginning because I really enjoyed it, but that is why. I really enjoyed what I read. I had a lot of fun, and I feel like I've not had fun with the book, especially the time that I read it, for a very long time. So it's just like a little bit special in my heart, and I'm really excited to finish it, and hopefully it holds up. But even if it doesn't, I'm okay with it. But the prompt is bunny. There is a bunny with horns actually, so this would also fit another prompt if I wanted to double up on the cover. So of course it matches. The book itself is about magical HR department, which in itself is really fun. There's banter, there's, office enemies. Our main character has a warden, which is also very much tying in into Aurelium again, that goes missing, and she goes after them, and it's in the Appalachian Mountains, and there's some Lauren creatures from that in the book. So excited. And then the last subject that I need is Psionics and divination, but I do need all 3 grades for this one. Oh, the first one is a coin flip, so I do want to double up on this one as well, and I haven't actually picked because I've not flipped the coin yet, so I'm gonna go and find myself a coin. And then I also see that the book that I have for the very last prompt is a book that I do physically own, and I could have put in this thumbnail picture, yet I failed at the one job that I had, but hold on. I got my coin. So if I get heads, then I need to read a standalone book, and if I get tails, I need to read a series. So that didn't count. Why does it just bounce back? There we go. What is it? Can you see? This is like I'm a makeup guru. Why is it not focusing? I'd be a shit guru. What is it? It's because I'm sitting behind the light. There we go. Is that a head? It is heads. So, standalone. Is Scion a standalone? I feel like maybe. If not, I want to say survival show is definitely a standalone. I'm gonna be using a scroll for that. Speaking of survival show, that is the one that then is fulfilling my queue for Psionics and divination with Skull on the cover. Exhibit A. And then the very last one that I need is Lunar Scrying, Moon on the cover, which I'm gonna be using Glittering Edge. Now this book has been in and out of my TBR like tentatively for so long. It's really time that I finish it. Once again, I will be starting to reread that because I have started it so long ago now. But I was really enjoying it. It's definitely kind of like leaning more younger YA, but it has that kind of like messy high school situation, but with witchcraft, which really appealed to me because there's also a cat. And it has that type of like angst that sometimes I'm really in the mood for. It just it lets me stay young at heart, It's like, it was very good vibes, I feel. So I really want to continue with this witchy, sorcery, material is very autumnal to me, so I am once again building the TBR around that. I was actually thinking I'm gonna put quite a few horror books and ended up doing none of that. Although survival show could have an element of horror, just depends on how it's written, but ended up with quite a bit of romance actually. Yours truly is a romance, but again, it's probably gonna have some like sadder themes. Nightshade, again, but it's a dark academia, so I feel like it could be moody. What we set out to do, not necessarily that's what happened. However, I'm actually very happy with my TBR. This is the primary TBR, and then if we need to tweak it, we'll tweak it, but I like to set it up so I don't feel like I'm just going completely blind into it, which is one way to do it. I just don't want to do it this time. I do think we have a lot of magic in there, but not the type of magic that I need to focus too much on, which I think is a very good way to hopefully jumpstart my reading again, because fingers crossed that is what this month actually does. That is my secret main goal outside of actually finishing Dovanthia's career in this journey of hers, which obviously would also be fantastic. But let me know if I do happen to read something that you also have on your TBR. Equally, as always, if you have already read something that is on my TBR, let me know what you thought of it. I'll chat to you in the comments. Thank you so much. And I think at this point I will see you on the 1st of September to officially kickstart our semester. All right. Thank you. I will see you next time.